Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to talk to you about something that is the very heartbeat of your existence, your purpose. You see, too many people go through life aimlessly, drifting from one thing to another, living day by day without understanding why they were created, without realizing that every life is designed for significance. Purpose is not just about having a job, making money, or achieving success. It is about understanding why you were born, what unique contribution only you can make to this world, and how your life can fulfill the vision that God, or the Creator, has placed in your heart. When you discover your purpose, you stop comparing yourself to others. You stop chasing what the world tells you is important. And suddenly, everything you do, every effort, every challenge, every setback becomes meaningful because it is moving you closer to the fulfillment of your destiny. My message today is simple. You were not born to be ordinary. You were not born to drift. You were born to fulfill a purpose. And understanding that purpose is the key to unlocking a life of true significance, influence, and impact. Every human being is born with a purpose, a reason for existence, a unique design that no one else can fulfill. Many people live their entire lives never understanding why they are here, never realizing that their life is not an accident, but a deliberate creation with intentionality. To discover your purpose, you must first understand that purpose is not about what you do for a living or how much money you make. Purpose is about understanding who you are, why you exist, and how your life fits into the larger picture of creation. Too many people go through life comparing themselves to others, wondering why they are not as successful, as popular, or as accomplished as someone else. But comparison is the thief of purpose. Your purpose is not found in imitation or in trying to live someone else's life. It is discovered in understanding your own uniqueness and embracing it fully. Each individual has been given specific gifts, talents, abilities, and a personality that equips them to fulfill their own role in life. These gifts are not random. They are clues, indicators, and tools designed to guide you toward the fulfillment of your purpose. But understanding your gifts is only the beginning. Purpose requires vision. Vision is the mental picture of the future that your purpose is meant to create. Without vision, purpose remains dormant, potential remains untapped, and life becomes a series of random events rather than a meaningful journey. Vision allows you to see beyond your present circumstances, to look past the obstacles, and to understand that every challenge, every setback, and every experience has a role to play in shaping you for the purpose you are destined to fulfill. Too many people fail to live their purpose because they are distracted by temporary pleasures, societal expectations, or fear of failure. They pursue comfort over calling, convenience over contribution, and popularity over significance. To truly understand your purpose, you must learn to prioritize what is eternal over what is temporary, what is meaningful over what is momentary. You must ask yourself, what impact do I want to leave behind? What difference can only I make? What legacy will endure long after I am gone? Purpose is never selfish. It is always about contribution, about giving to the world in a way that no one else can. It is about service, influence, leadership, and stewardship of the gifts you have been given. Living without purpose is like sailing a ship without a destination. You may move, you may even achieve some temporary success, but without purpose, life is directionless, unfulfilled, and ultimately meaningless. Understanding your purpose requires introspection, self-awareness, and honesty. You must examine your passions, your inclinations, your talents, your experiences, and your heart's deepest desires. God, the Creator, has planted within you an inner compass that, when heeded, guides you toward your destiny. But you must be willing to listen, to reflect, and to act on what you discover. It is not enough to merely dream. Purpose requires action, commitment, discipline, and persistence. Many people know what they are meant to do, but are unwilling to pay the price, to endure the process, or to take the risk required to fulfill it. Purpose is never fully realized in comfort. It is forged in challenge, refined through adversity, and proven through perseverance. Understanding your purpose also requires clarity of values. Values are the principles that guide your decisions, the standards by which you measure your life, and the foundation upon which your purpose stands. Without clear values, you will be easily swayed by others, distracted by the world, and derailed by circumstances. Your purpose is most fully expressed when your actions, decisions, and choices align with your values and your vision. Furthermore, purpose is relational. It is not merely about what you achieve, but also about how you influence and elevate the lives of others. No one fulfills their purpose in isolation. Life is a network of relationships, opportunities, and responsibilities. Your purpose is discovered in the context of connection, service, and contribution to others. Every encounter, every relationship, and every experience is designed to teach you, to prepare you, and to position you for the greater role you are destined to play. Time is another crucial element in understanding purpose. Life is short, and the window to fulfill your purpose is limited. Procrastination, indecision, and waiting for the perfect moment are enemies of destiny. The longer you delay discovering and living your purpose, the more your potential remains untapped, and the greater the regret that will accompany the later years of life. To live without purpose is to live in regret. To live with purpose is to live in fulfillment. And fulfillment is not measured by wealth, fame, or accolades. Fulfillment is measured by the sense of significance, the peace of alignment with your design, and the joy that comes from contributing to something greater than yourself. Discovering your purpose is both a journey and a decision. It begins with self-awareness, reflection, and seeking understanding. It grows through discipline, learning, and taking responsibility for your own life. It is strengthened by overcoming obstacles, embracing challenges, and refusing to settle for mediocrity. And it reaches maturity through service, leadership, and leaving a lasting legacy that impacts generations. The world is full of people who were created for greatness, but who never realized it because they never understood their purpose, because they allowed fear, doubt, or distraction to dictate their lives. Do not let this be your story. You were not born to drift. You were born to fulfill a divine assignment. You were not created to be ordinary. You were created to be extraordinary. You were not placed on this earth to merely exist. You were placed here to make a difference, to leave an imprint, and to fulfill a destiny that only you can fulfill. It starts with understanding, continues with commitment, and is completed through action. Purpose gives life meaning, direction, and significance. Purpose allows you to navigate life's storms with confidence, to overcome challenges with resilience, and to rise above mediocrity with determination. When you know your purpose, you no longer live for the approval of others or chase after the fleeting desires of the world. Instead, you live intentionally, passionately, and courageously, knowing that every step, every decision, and every sacrifice is moving you closer to the destiny you were created to fulfill. The journey of discovering your purpose is personal, but it is universal in its importance. Every life matters, every contribution counts, and every person has a role to play. There is no one else like you, no one else with your combination of gifts, experiences, and vision. Your purpose is your unique assignment, and your life's fulfillment depends on your willingness to embrace it fully, to pursue it relentlessly, and to live it unapologetically. Your talents and passions are not random. They are the fingerprints of your purpose. Every person has been uniquely designed with specific abilities and inclinations that, when properly aligned with their purpose, allow them to operate at their highest level and make the greatest impact. Many people fail to understand that talents alone are not enough. Talent without direction will often lead to frustration, wasted potential, and disappointment. Similarly, passion without discipline or focus can become chaotic, consuming energy but producing little of value. When you take the time to understand your gifts, recognize your passions, and align them with your life's purpose, something extraordinary happens. You begin to operate in the flow of destiny. This alignment is what creates fulfillment, because your work, your calling, and your life become an expression of who you truly are. It is not about doing what everyone else is doing. It is about doing what only you can do. Your passions are clues. They point you toward the areas where your purpose is waiting to be realized. Often, your deepest interests and the things that excite you are not just hobbies or fleeting desires. They are signposts guiding you toward your divine assignment. But passions alone are not enough. They must be coupled with the disciplined development of your talents. Skills are cultivated, refined, and perfected through learning, practice, and persistence. Talent is raw potential. Discipline turns it into excellence. The combination of talent, passion, and purpose is what allows a person to create a life that is not only successful in the world's terms, but significant in the terms of legacy and impact. To align your talents and passions with your purpose, you must first engage in honest self-assessment. Ask yourself, what do I do effortlessly that brings joy and meaning? What tasks make me lose track of time because I am fully engaged? What problems do I naturally gravitate towards solving? These questions help reveal your natural inclinations, the areas where your purpose intersects with your gifts. Next, you must develop these gifts intentionally. Do not leave your talents dormant, waiting for opportunity to find you. Take initiative, seek knowledge, acquire skills, and be relentless in your pursuit of mastery. When your talents are honed, your passions are engaged, and your purpose is clear, you will begin to operate with confidence, clarity, and impact. This alignment also equips you to overcome challenges with resilience. Life will test you, obstacles will arise, and setbacks will occur, but when you are operating in alignment with your purpose, your talents become tools, your passions become motivation, and your vision provides direction. You will not be easily derailed because your life is anchored in significance, not in circumstance. Furthermore, aligning your talents and passions with your purpose allows you to contribute to the world in a way that is uniquely yours. It is through this alignment that innovation, leadership, and influence emerge. Your work becomes more than a job, it becomes a mission. Your efforts impact others positively, create value, and leave a legacy that endures beyond your lifetime. Many people fail to achieve their purpose because they ignore their natural talents or suppress their passions in favor of what seems safe, popular, or expected. They take jobs they do not enjoy, pursue careers that do not ignite their hearts, and live lives dictated by the expectations of others. This is why understanding and aligning your talents and passions with your purpose is critical. It requires courage to step into the life you were meant to live, to defy conformity, and to pursue the path that calls to your soul. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you align your life in this way, you experience fulfillment that cannot be measured by wealth or status, joy that is not dependent on circumstance, and significance that impacts generations. It is the alignment of gifts, desires, and destiny that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Purpose is not theoretical, it is practical, actionable, and lived. It manifests when your work reflects your passions, your decisions honor your talents, and your life consistently moves toward the fulfillment of the destiny you were created to achieve. Therefore, take the time to explore, to experiment, and to discover the areas where your talents and passions intersect with your purpose. Invest in yourself, cultivate your gifts, and embrace the activities that energize you and make your heart come alive. When you do this, you will not only understand your purpose more clearly, but you will also experience the satisfaction of knowing that your life is in harmony with the reason you were created. Alignment is the key to unlocking your potential, maximizing your impact, and living a life that is meaningful, intentional, and extraordinary. Distractions and worldly influences are among the greatest obstacles that prevent people from fulfilling their purpose. Life is full of voices, expectations, pressures, and temptations that seek to divert you from your path. From a young age, society attempts to shape your thinking, dictate your priorities, and convince you that the purpose you were created for is secondary to the pursuit of comfort, wealth, and popularity. Social media, peer pressure, consumerism, and even well-meaning advice from others can easily pull you away from the destiny you were born to fulfill. The truth is that nothing in the world will fulfill you like the understanding and pursuit of your purpose. Every material possession, every approval from others, every temporary pleasure can provide momentary satisfaction, but it cannot replace the deep, abiding sense of significance that comes from living according to your design. To overcome these distractions, you must cultivate focus and clarity. Focus is the ability to keep your attention fixed on what truly matters despite the noise around you. Clarity comes from knowing your purpose, understanding your vision, and being clear about the principles and values that guide your life. When focus and clarity are combined, they create the discipline necessary to resist the pull of temporary attractions, irrelevant comparisons, and societal pressures. It is not enough to be talented, passionate, or visionary if you allow yourself to be consistently distracted. Purpose demands attention, effort, and persistence. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they have scattered their energy on things that do not contribute to their ultimate destiny. You must learn to say no to what does not align with your calling and yes to what does. Saying no requires courage because it often means rejecting opportunities that appear attractive, pleasing others, or conforming to popular trends. But every time you say yes to what matters and no to what does not, you are investing in the fulfillment of your purpose. Another challenge is the influence of fear. Fear is a powerful distraction because it convinces you that it is safer to remain in mediocrity than to pursue greatness, that it is safer to follow the crowd than to lead, and that it is safer to remain silent than to act boldly. Fear will whisper doubts, magnify challenges, and create hesitation, but understanding your purpose provides the courage to move forward despite fear. The more you focus on why you were created, the less the distractions of the world will affect you. You begin to see that temporary failures, criticism, and opposition are part of the journey, not reasons to quit. In addition, the world constantly promotes comparison and competition as a measure of worth. People look at others' successes and feel inadequate, forgetting that each person has a unique purpose and path. You were not created to be a replica of someone else's life. You were created to fulfill a specific role that no one else can play. Comparison distracts you from discovering and living your own destiny. To overcome this, you must remain grounded in self-awareness, recognizing that your journey is distinct and your purpose incomparable. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is critical. Negative influences, toxic relationships, and limiting environments can erode your confidence and distort your perception of your abilities and calling. Seek mentors, guides, and companions who inspire, challenge, and encourage you to pursue your purpose relentlessly. Purpose cannot flourish in a climate of doubt, distraction, or disapproval. It grows in an environment of clarity, focus, and support. Spiritual, mental, and emotional discipline is essential to maintaining focus. Daily habits, rituals, and practices that reinforce your values, vision, and purpose help guard your attention against being consumed by trivial matters. Prayer, reflection, study, and intentional action are the tools that keep your life aligned with your destiny. Understanding that life is finite also helps prioritize purpose over distraction. Time is a resource that cannot be replenished, and every moment spent on things that do not contribute to your calling is a moment lost forever. Purpose-driven people value their time and allocate it according to what matters most, refusing to allow insignificant matters to steal their focus. The reality is that distractions and worldly influences will always exist. You cannot control them, but you can control your response. Discipline, clarity, courage, and intentionality empower you to resist the allure of what is superficial and focus on what is eternal. Every time you redirect your attention toward your purpose, every time you choose significance over comfort, every time you act according to your calling rather than your fears, you are building momentum toward fulfilling your destiny. To live a life of purpose, you must guard your mind, your heart, and your actions against the distractions that seek to derail you. You must recognize that nothing outside of your purpose can satisfy the deepest longing of your soul. True success is measured not by what you accumulate or how you are seen by the world, but by how faithfully you pursue and fulfill the purpose for which you were created. The challenges are real, the distractions are relentless, and the pressures are constant, but those who refuse to yield, who maintain focus, and who act with intentionality will experience the fulfillment and significance that come only from living in alignment with their destiny. Fulfilling your destiny is the ultimate expression of understanding your purpose. It is not enough to simply know your purpose or align your talents and passions. The true measure of a life well lived is found in the consistent pursuit and application of that purpose in ways that make a difference. Destiny is not a vague concept or a distant dream. It is the outcome of intentional choices, deliberate actions, and unwavering commitment to the path you were designed to walk. Many people never reach their full potential because they underestimate the power of consistency and perseverance. They wait for perfect conditions, for the ideal moment, or for recognition from others, not realizing that destiny is fulfilled one decision, one action, and one day at a time. Every step taken in alignment with your purpose compounds over time, building momentum, character, and influence. To fulfill your destiny, you must first embrace responsibility. You cannot blame circumstances, other people, or the lack of opportunity for unfulfilled potential. Your life is your responsibility, and only you can make the decisions, take the actions, and cultivate the discipline required to walk the path of purpose. This requires courage, because the pursuit of destiny often involves risk, sacrifice, and stepping into the unknown. Comfort, fear, and complacency are enemies of destiny, and those who cling to safety will never experience the full measure of their calling. Service is another essential component of fulfilling your destiny. Purpose is not self-contained, it exists in the context of others. True fulfillment comes from using your gifts, talents, and resources to impact lives, transform communities, and contribute to a legacy that endures beyond your own lifetime. When you serve, you extend your influence, reinforce your purpose, and create opportunities for your destiny to manifest. Leadership is also intertwined with the fulfillment of destiny. To lead is to guide, to inspire, and to empower others, and in doing so, you magnify your impact and bring your purpose into full expression. Destiny is rarely a solitary journey. The lives you touch, the relationships you cultivate, and the teams you build become conduits through which your purpose reaches its maximum effect. Fulfilling your destiny requires vision that transcends the present moment. You must see the long-term significance of your efforts, understanding that every small step, every sacrifice, and every lesson contributes to a larger plan. Patience is essential because fulfillment is a process, not an event. Instant gratification is not the measure of purpose, long-term impact is. Adversity, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but they are also instruments that refine your character, strengthen your resolve, and prepare you for the greater responsibilities that come with destiny. Those who embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow are the ones who ultimately fulfill their purpose. You must also remain adaptable. Life is dynamic and circumstances change, but your purpose remains constant. Flexibility in approach, while remaining steadfast in principle, ensures that you can navigate obstacles without compromising your calling. Fulfillment of destiny is not about seeking fame, recognition, or approval. It is about staying true to your design, consistently applying your gifts, and making decisions that honor your values and vision. The world may not always understand or acknowledge your efforts, but the measure of destiny is not external validation, it is internal alignment and the lasting impact of your life. Discipline is the backbone of destiny. Every day, you must make choices that support your purpose, prioritize your actions, and resist the temptations that distract from your path. Habits, routines, and consistent effort are what transform potential into reality. Without discipline, even the most talented, passionate, and visionary individuals will fail to fulfill their destiny. Finally, fulfilling your destiny is about legacy. Your purpose is not complete until it produces fruit that outlasts you. Whether through mentorship, creation, leadership, or service, the ultimate fulfillment of your purpose is measured by the lives you influence, the systems you impact, and the contributions that continue to matter long after you are gone. Understanding, aligning, overcoming, and acting are all steps in the journey, but fulfillment is the destination. It is the demonstration of what happens when a person lives fully, intentionally, and courageously in alignment with the reason they were created. Destiny is not a gift that is given, it is a life that is claimed through knowledge, effort, perseverance, and unwavering faith in the purpose that drives you. When you commit yourself to this journey, you experience the profound joy of knowing that your life is not wasted. your potential is realized, and your purpose is fulfilled in ways that inspire, empower, and impact generations to come. Creating a lasting legacy is the ultimate expression of living a purpose-driven life. Purpose is not fully realized until it leaves a mark that outlives your time on earth, influencing generations and shaping the future. Many people live with purpose, but fail to think about the long-term impact of their actions, their choices, and their contributions. Legacy is not measured by wealth, possessions, or temporary achievements. It is measured by the significance of the difference you make, the lives you touch, and the principles you uphold. Every decision you make, every value you honor, and every lesson you impart contributes to the legacy you leave behind. Understanding this elevates the way you live each day because it shifts your focus from the trivial and temporary to the eternal and meaningful. Legacy requires intentionality. It does not happen by accident or by chance. You must make deliberate choices that align with your purpose, consistently act in ways that demonstrate your values, and prioritize activities that contribute to something larger than yourself. Time is finite, and the way you spend it either builds or diminishes your legacy. Education, mentorship, leadership, and service are powerful tools for creating a lasting impact. When you invest in the growth of others, you multiply your influence and extend the reach of your purpose far beyond your immediate environment. Legacy also requires courage and integrity. It demands that you stand firm in your convictions, act ethically, and remain faithful to your principles, even when it is unpopular or challenging. People remember character more than achievement, and the foundation of a meaningful legacy is unwavering integrity. Furthermore, legacy is relational. It is expressed in the relationships you cultivate, the guidance you provide, and the positive impact you have on the lives of those around you. True legacy is generational. It inspires and equips others to carry forward the principles, knowledge, and wisdom you leave behind. It is not just about personal accomplishment, but about creating systems, institutions, and movements that endure beyond your lifetime. Living with a legacy mindset transforms the way you approach your purpose. It encourages you to think long-term, to plan strategically, and to act consistently. It inspires you to overcome short-term distractions and challenges because you understand that every effort contributes to a greater outcome. Legacy is also about influence. What you do, say, and stand for shapes the worldview, attitudes, and actions of those who follow you. Every example you set, every standard you maintain, and every act of service has a ripple effect that can inspire countless others to pursue their own purpose with courage and excellence. To create a lasting legacy, you must combine vision, purpose, and action. It is not enough to dream or hope for impact. You must work intentionally, make sacrifices, and persevere through challenges. Legacy requires patience because the full results of your influence are often seen long after your immediate efforts. Spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and moral growth are all critical components of building a legacy. You cannot pass on what you do not possess. Therefore, investing in your own development equips you to lead, guide, and empower others effectively. The ultimate goal of a lasting legacy is to ensure that the purpose you were created for continues to unfold, multiply, and make a difference long after you are gone. It is the manifestation of significance in its highest form, demonstrating that your life mattered, that your time was well spent, and that your gifts, talents, and vision were not wasted. A meaningful legacy is not accidental. It is the outcome of a life fully aligned with purpose, consistently applied, and dedicated to the service of others. When you live with this mindset, your influence becomes eternal, your impact measurable across generations, and your life a testament to the power of understanding and pursuing your purpose with clarity, passion, and unwavering commitment.